So we've covered the how to put everything together with the script and everything, but I wanted to very briefly go over how the package report is different from those VOSOTs that we just covered. So with package reports, you're going to have usually a toss from the anchor, and if you whenever you're writing for both an anchor and for a package report, you generally indicate where the start is on your script by including the anchor right here as well as another element. So, but if you don't, that's fine. Usually people know if you say monitor or you have OTS or whatever it is that you want to use at the beginning. It tells us where we are. You pretty much, I pretty much always for something where you're going to have a person on set who is going to toss to the package, you're going to start by actually looking at the person who is on set and transitioning from them to the pre-recorded package. Now, remember whenever I was talking about how the reports are put together for packages, when we put this together, it's going to lead a little more, it's going to lean a little more toward that expanded inverted pyramid concept where we're giving more of a body section to it. So probably some more bridge background kind of stuff as opposed to the shorter lead backup details background that we have in the broadcast pyramid. But both both trains get you to the same station. You know, we're either way. What you're doing is you're leading with essential facts and backing up your story with those key answers to the questions why, how, when, where, who, whichever order works the best for your particular story. Which, if you look at this lead, usually there you'll have also a lead that it wants to you want something that where you can feel a transition that is going into this report. So we're having a kind of a softer transition into the story than you would with those much shorter ones where you have to just like get to the point and get it done. So here we're giving our director a note. We're saying, hey, there's a monitor shot. What's there? It's a graphic, and it's for Thomas Park. And if you're unfamiliar with Lafayette, this is one of the Louisiana. This is one of the parks over there. And we recently, in the past several years, had a skate park that was developed over there after people were well, some people were tired of skaters going where they weren't supposed to go. Skaters were tired of not having a place to go. So we now have this amazing park area that's available. And so for this story, this was when they were still working on it, but we're finishing the development. They had broken down ground and were well underway. So we start out with the name of the park, Thomas Park, which it is. The park part is part of the name, so it's included in those quotation marks. And home to the Lafayette tennis teams, neighborhood playgrounds, and other outdoor recreation will soon include a skate park. And reporter Emily Montagnier provides an update about the new area. So we're doing what's called a toss from the anchor to the package report. And this could also lead to a live update if we wanted to have someone live on air. So if you wanted to live stream it or do something on location, that would be another excellent way to do it, where you can make a shorter voiceover video that's pre-recorded with the information, or if you have a lot happening at in the moment from that location, and you know that your reporter is going to be able to go there, they don't have to suddenly like run off and do and cover something else that's happening. You can have them live on the scene. And so we tell production what's going on by giving them that package indicator. So we have PKG package, and we tell them about how long the package is. So we give them a runtime. We tell them how long we're expecting this to go. So we're saying a minute 36 seconds. Anytime that you give someone a runtime, whether it's for this or for a stinger or a music bed or any of those things, let people know how long this is supposed to last. They you don't want to keep them hanging, going like, okay, well, am I supposed to let this play forever? What's going on? Did I miss something? Is this the wrong report? We've all been there where we made the version that has the music bed and had the maybe a SOT in there, but we forgot to trim the ending, or forgot to include the voiceover, or something happens. The point is, things happen. Be prepared. Tell people what's going on. And so we do that by indicating the package, and then everything within the actual package. So within the part that we've pre-recorded, we include in here. Now, let's say we wanted to make this a live shot that goes to a package. Then what we could do is we could include a little live element here. So we put live right there, and then script, whatever our script is, toss to, no, not toss to package. And so you could even toss to your own package from the live shot and do it that way too. But whatever it is that you have, and usually you'd have some kind of a wipe or maybe a 2-shot. So let's put a 2-shot in there. So we can have it pulled up, and whenever, if you're new to this, you'd include a little bobbing head right there. So you'd want to have yourself, you can't see me right now, but I'm nodding my head up and down like you're going, yeah, that's so interesting. All right, that when they say bobbleheads, that's what they're talking about. Gentle bobbleheads, not like bobblehead in a hurricane. So we do that until the person who is being tossed to needs to talk. They talk, toss to the package goes, and now we know what to expect at the beginning of the package because everything has been indented about 1/2 inch. So we know, okay, all this is within this package report. So we start out with a voiceover video, and it includes Thomas Park construction, and we have a super for it. So skate park construction continues. And where is it? It's in Lafayette. Remember to include that semicolon and our location indicator afterward. And again, the first part of our super does need to be brief. Think of short headlines. And then the second part is going most of the time to be location information, or if it's an ongoing long story, we might have something that tells us what the story is. So if we didn't have room to put skate park in the top part, we might include Lafayette Skate Park on the bottom. So different ways that you can organize the information. And we have our first part of the script here. If you drive by Thomas Park, you'll see the signs of progress. So we want to indicate progress to our audience. We were able to get some natural sounds from the dump trucks and the construction and things. Remember, this is news, not advertising, so these need to be real and really from that place, not something that you bought on Splice or from somewhere else. So make sure that you're using really real things that you really collected. And then the nat sounds go, which I didn't include. 2 seconds. If it's something really short where you have just a little breath of information, you can include, or a breath of a natural sound, you'd include 2 seconds like that, or you could do the like to keep, if you're a stickler for formatting and want to keep everything the same, maybe let's say it's 3 seconds. So we have 3 seconds of natural sound before we continue with the voiceover. So we're making sure that production knows. So the director, the graphics operator, if we have one, an audio operator, all those people know what's going on in here, and we tell them like, okay, we're gonna have about 3 seconds of dump truck noises and construction. And then we start our script again. Remember, this is our voiceover, so everything is in caps. We're using an ellipsis, and we're describing what people would see in this particular voiceover video. So that construction crews drive dump trucks and backhoes, building mounds and valleys in what used to be an empty field. And last October, so we're giving necessary details about the project. The Lafayette Consolidated Government broke ground on a new skate park just off Geraldine Drive. So if you're unfamiliar with the area, you don't know which park this is, but you know that it sounds familiar, maybe you know where this particular road is. So we're giving people the where, the when, and more of what's going on. And we describe what's there, and we can see how everything is included in here. So we have a lead into our next information source, which is this particular person, William Empfinger, one of the project's contractors, hopes skateboard beginners and veterans enjoy this newer, safer place to test their skills. So we aren't giving exactly what this person said in this direct quote. We're giving key pieces of information from the interview that can lead us into this quote. Or if they maybe didn't give us a whole lot to work with, use one of your other sources to help you bring in that information, to describe what's going on and help people relate what this person is saying to what is happening. And we have our super information right here, right? So we have our super, which I think I was in the middle of adapting this for audio only, part of why we have a few different things in here, but you can see what's going on. So we have our SOT, so the take SOT is right here. And then but if you just have SOT there, people know what's going on, but you want to give them that indicator, whatever the thing is that you're including in your story, whether it's a soundbite, sound on tape, or if you're doing a stand-up, or if you have a natural sound or voiceover video, whatever it is, indicate it first in your script. Follow that indication with your script information. So remember, whatever comes after the element is going to be the thing that you're reading while the element is on screen. So we have Thomas Park Construction video, followed by So yeah, like this is going to be Nat Sound VO. So we have a couple of the sounds in the background, and you probably would have it continuing under the script too, assuming you have enough of it from your video. So we have it go for a minute and probably fade it out around here where we start with our background information, and then we do our take shot. We explain who's talking with our super, and we have the direct quote that comes from them. So remember, this is the part that's going to be played. So you have either audio or audio and video of this. And then we have our stand up. The stand up is that thing where the reporter appears on screen. So we're appearing on screen in front of the bowl cutout, and the city estimated the skate area would only take a few months to build. As of the end of February, the park is only 35% complete. And then a quote from the people who are affected, so the who involved, in addition to the who of the people who are developing the park. We have the who of the people who are going to go skate over there, and we have a direct quote from them. And they like their reaction. And then remember, we if we have some other stuff going on, and you don't have to do wipes in between each of these SOTs or VOs either. Actually, you shouldn't. It would be really jarring to have that like repeating over and over again. So just do a straight like butted pieces of video in there to transition in between it, so it would go straight from your SOT to the VO to the SOT, and then back to your VO for this. So we have more voiceover information introducing and talking about the people who are going here. And I mean, you don't even always have to include their name. Like this person is identified as one of the skaters. Say they're excited about the park, but a bit concerned about the timetable. And we have a quote from one of the skaters, and they are identified as such in here. So again, people can be identified by official titles or by their relationship to what's happening in the story. And then we have another person, and we have a sig out at the end. So this is important for a package report. And if we were doing this live, this could be something where you come back live at the end and do a tag at a live tag on location, and do your sig out from there. That would also work really well if you want to do it that way. And so you have those options available depending on how the story develops. But yeah, your sig out again is going to be the reporting from whatever location, your name, and your identifiers. So whatever your station call letters are, and usually it's wherever you are, or if you have a like a special sig out that your station prefers, you can use that. Or if you're doing it on your own, like with your own channel, you'd include your channel information there at the end, and that would help you wrap everything up. Okay. And also, I wanted to point out like some of the references I used to develop this. So this one again was put together from these different elements. Whenever you are whenever you're putting together your own stories, you want to include direct quotes from your own interviews for this. But you can see I have a press release about it, about this thing that happened. So I knew it was in Lafayette, and they have information about the park, like where the park's located, which street it's on, and the interim parks director. So if I wanted to contact them about what's going on with the park, we could talk to them. And so the story is a little older. You can actually see a picture from the finished park on their page too. And you can see this was the press release, including the information about what happened, and the person who wrote it doesn't work there anymore, so they have a user not found. That in that particular case, if you have someone who wrote a press release and they aren't identified, then usually you just put the government organization or the other group in charge, like if it's a company or what have you. And then we had some key information from this article by the DL guy. Now, if I were using this as one of my sources, then I would make sure to include something from the DL guy in here as well. But if I've gone to the site and confirmed things for myself, then I can use that information that I've collected, and don't necessarily need to credit the other one. But I could still put something like this was first reported by the DL guy on Developing Lafayette back in February, and blah 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 blah, skate park. So there are a lot of different ways to include your sources and make sure that people are receiving credit that they do deserve to have in there. So make sure that you're including things the way they need to be, and that we have the correct information for everyone, that you're spelling people's names correctly, that you're including all of these elements in here. Remember, we need to include those little sideways carrots every time you include a new element, whether it's a direct quote, so the sound bites that we have, or sound on tape, SOTs, voiceovers, voiceover video needs to be indicated as well. And you need to provide descriptions for all of those things. Tell people what is going on, because remember, you're working with a team on this, or at minimum, you're working with yourself, and you need to make sure that you are keeping yourself on track. All right. So good luck to you, and I look forward to hearing about your projects.